seen, I was search for books on Chinese painting. And then I discovered most of the book in English on Chinese painting are not written by Chinese.
No, they're not. Liang Zheng is about the only one who's Chinese who actually,
And then
he's mostly watercolor, Western watercolor.
And then I called them actually, and I talked to one of the editors, and then I was invited to write. I said, how could such a big company publish a book like this? It's so amateur, it's so unprofessional. So it's
Because they don't know the difference between amateur and professional Chinese brush painting.
So I sent them my website. I send them. I give them my website so they look at them. They say, "Why don't you do it for us?"
Yeah,
I haven't.
It's a lot of work too.
it's a ton of work.
Well, it's a lot of work. I might doing that. See, I have the bird.
Yeah,
Okay, I have the birds. Started with the bird. Actually, those are most of the time, mostly for my student, not that I want to publish.
what we find is that most of the things that get published are sort of like Chinese painting made easy. Simple steps to Chinese, like anybody's just going to sit down and
Learn it in a weekend.
plop
Yeah.
out a masterpiece.
Yes. And then I one time I called them, that's not Chinese painting. That's Chinese materials.
Used to create a painting.
Yeah, not Chinese.
That's
painting.
right.
Yeah.
There's a new landscape book came out on Amazon. It popped up this
And
morning.
Liang books
They're
was
Western
not
watercolors.
the first book he painted on a crane, and that is not his creation either.
Who's this?
Liang Zheng.
Okay.
No, he
James, you know him?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you've seen his works.
he lives in
Yes.
Las Vegas.
No.
And he's a clever man, but his technique is not that good. But it's considered good, but to us, professor, he's not. And then he tried to learn Lingnan style as well, but
But
it's
he
no
doesn't
good.
do it.
No.
Well, he is all about making money.
Yes.
And he makes no bones about it.
And he has how many? I think 3 now, isn't it? 3
He has
books.
3 books and he's working on 2 more.
Because that kinds of thing is easy, popular. I mean, you could learn in a very short time. But to us, those techniques is not big deal. You doesn't really need a lot of foundation to be able to do this type of work. And then most of the subject are copied. Like the cranes are copied from books, of course. I'll show you. You ask him, have he been to Sapporo and really go see that crane?
The Crane Preserve.
Did he been there? I don't
doubt
know.
it. I doubt it. Yeah, these are exactly what he's saying.
Yes.
This is a wonderful book to have, Mr. Crane Painter. He loves the crane.
The bird of heaven.
You could go Amazon. They might have it, but sometimes you're lucky enough you might still buy them. Otherwise, it will cost you a lot of money. I didn't know books, good book right now you could sell it for hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yes. It's a wonderful reference book.
A lot of different pastures.
that shows it in every conceivable posture.
Do you? Did you get it in China?
Yes.
Now, in British Columbia, we've seen a lot of this type of snow mountain, especially in the north. And then especially the calendar I showed you yesterday, there are lots of snow and a lot of tree like this. See how I paint, watch it, and then
Trees in the far distance.
easy, isn't it?
Oh, sure.
Just like that?
Just like that. There's a rhythm.
I don't see any Chinese cranes. They don't have any. It's Japanese cranes. There's no
Maybe.
Chinese cranes.
The red crown crane. It's a migratory bird.
No. They're
Have you
thought to be
seen,
migratory.
Bob? Have you seen the Manchurian crane?
Manchurian crane.
Yeah, those are called Manchurian crane. They are actually not original from Japan.
That would be the Siberian.
They are flying to Japan for mating.
Right. It's a migratory bird.
And then after they pick up the mate, and then they'll fly back and lay their egg in between the North Korea, China, and Russia, with a place they will bring the baby.
Yeah.
Brings up, lay the egg and then have the baby.
Did you see the red crown crane in the Hangzhou Zoo?
Oh,
When you were there?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
It's a
that-
big bird, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you got to see it before Phyllis took her face plant or not.
No, that was after.
And in
Yeah.
the Fresno Zoo, they have a gold crown crane, which is just gorgeous.
The golden one from Africa with a top knot? Yes,
You
Right.
always paint the crane in pair.
yes. It makes,
Well,
Don't paint the
Don't paint
the
a
crane
lonely
alone
one,
because
yeah.
they don't live alone. Yeah.
Make a note.
they're a flock.
should I
Yeah,
get
there's
mine
the
back?
crown. There's the crowned crane.
Well, as a matter of fact, the one I saw
They
that,
have two of them. and
those
they're
two of
part
them?
of the
Let's
food
see
show.
the crowned crane.
I don't, those subjects, I never paint them alone. I always paint it with pair.
Crane wife. I learned how to find these little puppies. Paper cranes. Took me an hour to figure out the folds, but once I did it.
Really?
Well, I'd never done one. I knew Japanese kindergartners could whip one up. I figured I could too. But it was an inside-out fold that got me. But I learned how to do it. You know, they're easy to do now that I know how.
Now you can whip one out in a minute.
oh,
Yeah.
anything's easy once you know how.
Sword card with a crane. This is a wonderful reference book.
Take a name you can always search on
Yeah,
Amazon.
right.
You lucky, you might. Two of my students, I bought two that was.
Spend half the money here and half on Amazon. Where would it happen?
I have another book you might be interested. I don't like his styles
Oh,
of
no,
painting.
I don't care
no.
for his paintings,
No.
but all the
The
technical
way- yeah.
information at the beginning
Yeah.
that shows you how to do all the different contours
Mhm.
for a valley like
Yeah.
Yosemite and
Oh,
all
yeah,
that.
you're talking about the line drawings.
Yeah, the
and-
contour
yeah.
drawings,
It's good for teaching,
yeah.
not
Not for imitating.
No.
no. Oh, I wouldn't spending time doing that. Oh. too much. No. Of course, this is a lake. Okay, this is a lake. Yeah. Anything you want to ask me? Hello?
It looks great when you're doing
Yeah.
it, and then when you sit down to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therein
What
lies the
happens?
problem.
Disconnect between mind and hand.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I loaned this book to a couple of people. Oh, she's.
It's these that are so helpful.
Yes.
It saves you a lot of time
Yeah.
shadowing this if you know.
Engineer's mind and taking
Yeah, very
everything apart.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
The Lingnan school does not teach me all this. Okay, I'm gonna wait for them to dry a little bit, and then we unless you want to take pictures.
I would like to.
Only spray one off.
Depending on how far away you are.
Yeah.
Now, all this you just have to do it, and then find out your very own way and how to control it. Now this is tiny,
Okay.
okay. They're not big. They're not big trees, so make sure that you do not show the main trunk clearly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If it, you do that.
Oh, and that's very dark.
Yeah.
It's
the-
foreground.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So I use two different brushes, and then I don't have to lighten it, so it stay the same colors, same tone. But for here, it's just fine. Don't try to fill it up, all right? Leave some space.
Nice air. So
And
the
then-
birds can fly through.
They keep when they dry, so you can just keep spraying. When you find it too light, then unless you really like it, if you want to be the same, then you have to darken it again. See, I change it. paint right here. Or paint this is front, this behind. So I'm gonna paint this first. White. And I will lighten it. Sometimes I spray a little water right here. It's easier for me to get clean water instead of going here. Once you go in here, you go,
Yeah.
and you have too much water.
Yeah.
Here,
You can control how much lifts up into your brush.
yep.